Right, got a target 45 yards, and I'm going back to these QYS. Yesterday, well the other day, A, I forgot to put air in my rifle and it was shooting very close to the reg, and B, I really don't think it likes those exacts. I think I got the wrong head size. I got 4.52s, and I think it prefers 4.5s. So we'll have a look, see. Try these QYS first. Right, let's have a little look, shall we? Right, so got a little bit of wind drift. As you can see, it's blowing a bit, but apart from that, that's not too bad. So I'm going to try the Jsp Heavies now. Gotta admit, I like these Jsp Heavies. Right, so going right, need to go left, couple of clucks left. See what that gives us. Wow, that's better. Okay, so kicked in a few adjustments and I've got that group now. That's much better. So I'll put a fresh target in. Just give it a tweak over to the left again. Yeah, I've got quite a strong wind as well blowing left to right, it's carrying them a little bit. But I'm quite impressed with that. It definitely seems to prefer those Jsp Heavies. I think I've just shot the bull out, so no complaints there at all. Let's go and have a look, but I'm pretty sure I've just shot the bull completely out. Definitely prefers them Jsp Heavies. So I think, looking at what I've just done there, that I am going to stock up on probably buy in bulk, get 6 or 7 tins worth or whatever they come in a batch, and use those. But I'm quite impressed with that. Oh, that's really good, especially for me shooting. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. 45 yards on a breezy day, shooting from lying on the floor, no mat, no bench. I am definitely not going to complain about that. Excellent. Very, very happy. Very happy with that. Yeah, no complaints there. I'll try and duplicate that, but I've got no complaints about that. Very happy with that. So it looks like it's the Jsp Heavies all the way with that rifle. It just goes to show what a difference different pellets can make. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad with the 8.48 grain QYS's. You know, it's a string with the wind probably catching it. And then when I zeroed it in, you know, it's not bad. But then when you compare it to that, that's so much better. So much better. Obviously, this rifle definitely prefers the Jsp Heavies. Right, just shot a group at 35 yards this time. Bring it in a bit closer. Have a little look and see what difference that's made to it. Okay, so 35 yards, and obviously it's shooting higher at 35 yards because of the trajectory of the pellet, but look at that. I mean, that's just 35 yards. That's amazing. So impressed with this rifle, I tell you. Get the right pellet, and it just proves as well another point that's worth noting. There are those still that think that if they've got an inherently really accurate rifle, that because it's such a well-made, good rifle, there's no real need to hunt around for the perfect pellet. And I think I've just demonstrated there, you know, an Anchutz 9015 is probably one of the most inherently accurate rifles there are. But even that is affected by the wrong pellet choice. The difference between the exacts, the 8.44 pardon me, exacts in the 4.52 head size compared to the exact heavies in 4.50 is dramatic. So it is worth, well, it's not dramatic, but it's noticeable. So even with the most accurate rifle in the world, or one of the most accurate rifles in the world, pellet choice is still pretty crucial. You know, you can't just think that you've got a really accurate rifle so you put any old thing through it. Even if you've got a really well made, superb shooting rifle, it's always worth taking a bit of time to shoot through your range of pellets, because I know that them QYSs shoot really well out of my Steyr Hunting 5 Auto. They shoot brilliantly out of that, and they shoot really well out of the RTI Priest as well, but they obviously don't suit this particular rifle so much. Maybe it's the head size, maybe it's just the type of pellet, but they definitely don't suit it. It much prefers those heavies. Right, I've now pushed it right out to 55 yards. Right out there. Right, it's quite a long way, as I'm sure you'll agree. So 55 yards. I put one shot through it to gauge the holdover, and I'm going to go and have a look now, see what sort of groups these heavies are doing at 55 yards. Well, ignore that one, because that was my one that I was using for the elevation holdover, and 55 yards, not bad. Those are the ones there. Went too many mil dots with those, but even with too many mil dots, look at that for a group. That was 2 shots to check the mil dots, and then 1 mil dot gave me that. So at 55 yards, you're getting 2 shots in a group like that. 2 at that range, 2 at that. The first one I didn't bother with a second shot because I knew the holdover was too much. So yeah, impressed. 55 yards, that is a long way back to that rifle over there in those trees. So I'm quite impressed with that. Shan't be complaining about that. Really do love this Anchutz. It's just ridiculously accurate, it really is. I want to get that riser rail on it. I still think I need a better scope, I'll be honest with you, I do. I still think my IORs give me better results on this rifle than this Hawk. It's only a Vantage. I mean, it's a good scope, don't get me wrong, it is a good scope, but I think a Vantage, you know, it's still an entry level in the Hawk range. And it is good scope, it's got a much finer ret, which was the problem with the Enfield scope, had too big a ret. But I think just the clarity and everything on the IORs was so much better. So I have ordered a Picatinny rail riser, not to raise it up by much, but just mainly to convert it from the 11mm dovetail to a Picatinny rail, so I can put my IORs on, because they've come with quite expensive Picatinny mounts, and because one of them's a 40mm tube and the other one's a 36mm tube, or 35mm tube I think it is, one or the other. Anyway, they've got really expensive mounts on them, so it's better to fit them on a Picatinny rail anyway, I think. But even so, what a staggeringly accurate rifle this is. Feed this the right ammo and it's just stupidly accurate. You know, 55 yards, putting 2 pellets almost on top of one another, and groups that easily fit under my small fingernail at 45 yards. It's just a crazy rifle. It's just lovely. Just really enjoying owning this gun. You know, I mean, alright, it's not the world's, you know, maybe it's not the perfect hunting rifle, it isn't, because it's a little bit delicate perhaps. Even with that side plate on it, it's a little bit more delicate compared to somewhat like the R5M, which I was out with the other day and shot a load of rabbits with it, and that crow. That thing's really good for hunting, but I think for just out and out target shooting and a bit of fun with it, and hunting as well, to be fair, but being a bit more careful, this thing's phenomenally good. It really is. And the triggers are absolute joy to use. So there you go, Anchutz at all the different ranges, and finally think I've settled on my pellets. I'm going to be using Jsp Heavies, heavy exacts, and I'm going to stick with those, I think. Like I say, I've tried the QIS, 2 lots of QIS Streamlined Heavies, QIS Streamlines 8.48, which were very good. The exacts in 4.52 it didn't like at all, and these Streamlined Heavies shoot really well through it, and it didn't like I fed it some air arms as well, and it was alright with those. It wasn't bad with them, but it wasn't as good as the Heavies. So choice made, I think. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe.